What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back to what's going on over in Iraq because, it's starting to really look good. It really is. We don't want no, of course, we don't want no, we don't want no civil unrest or nothing like that. But, for the most part, they seem to be moving in the right direction, which is really, really good. There's a couple of things we want to focus on. Definitely, and talk about others. All right. Before then, you guys know that if you're thinking about buying gold or silver, go to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below underneath this video. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. We like freebies. For those of you asking, that is my address right there. And you guys know I have my other website where I talk about things that I cannot talk about on this platform. It's really starting to grow. I keep telling people I can see your area of interest, so I'll make sure to continue to expand on that. Anything about the Rona, anything about the election and audit, and of course, anything about Hollywood and the pedals people, okay? So I get it loud and clear. I looked at the analysis. The thing about the Rona is huge. So I'll make sure to continue to follow up on that and bring information as it comes. Okay? Right, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. It's free to join. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. I encourage you to come join us. It's free. Again, it's free. Over here, you can ask your questions. If I can't get to them, there's definitely a lot of knowledgeable people in here who can help. I did this earlier, but I just can't help it. I'm going to do it again on this video. I want to say congratulations to my friend Anya. You guys have seen us interview one another. She's a wonderful human being. She has published another children's book, and I encourage you guys to come check it out. So if you have children or grandchildren that love to hear stories, I want to encourage you to come check out Matilda and I believe it's Odos or Oodles. I know I'm hacking up the name. She's going to give me a heck about it later on. But it is a really cute book, and it's about they do this time traveling, and they're able to go to some of the most important people throughout our history and ask a very important question. And the answers are truly unique, and children will love it. So give it a try. All right, I will leave a link for this. Come over there and support our friend Anya, and check out the book because the kids will absolutely love it. So if you have kids or grandchildren, I encourage you to check it out and read them their story. The kids and the characters in the book, they can actually travel together. So I'm not sure what's going on here, and I haven't heard anything about this, but this is interesting that, Sadar is coming out and making these types of comments. I'm not sure why anybody would be threatening him, to be quite honest with you. He's a really influential guy. So anyways, in the video, Sadar preaches his supporters, I will die or be a martyr soon. So he's expecting something. Sadr, the leader of the Sadr movement, has informed his supporters that the day of his martyrdom of death is near. This comes in a speech addressed to his supporters, according to the video clip published by the account of, I don't know who that is, who is close to the leader of the Sadr movement on Facebook. He addressed his supporters by saying, there is one thing that activates the Sadr movement, and that is my death or my being killed. He added that his blood would be enough to revive what has perished. Sadr gave good tidings to his supporters by saying, I give you good tidings in an immense of my martyrism or my death, without making clear whether he was facing threats from specific parties. Now, I'm wondering, I didn't see anything in the news recently that would cause this. This is very interesting. Yeah, we don't want anything to happen to this guy. The last thing you need is for a huge portion of the population to be mourning and pissed off and raising holy heck there, no pun intended, if Sadr is killed. Remember, I told you when it comes to the popular mobilization group, 1/3 is loyal to the Ayatollah over there in Iran, 1/3 to Al-Kazemi, but the other third is to this man here. Now, the popular mobilization group has already been getting screwed with by the United States. So I'm not sure what's going on or why they're being targeted. They have been fighting ISIS, and the only thing I could think of is a third term of the Obama or the Biden administration. Of course, they would want that, but yeah. And what I mean by that is ISIS to run around again. Yeah, I'm not sure why he said that, but it caught my attention. I kept thinking, no, we don't want this. We don't need that headache. Trade, completion of all procedures for the launch of Agriculture Week exhibit at the Baghdad International Fair, which is good. It's their way to go out there and show you exhibits for the local, Arab, and international participations with 135 companies and departments, noting that the exhibition is a large participating exhibition in the history of Ministry of Agriculture. So this is their chance to go out there and meet with individuals for possible future business. Yeah, Iraq has really been getting out there. I just watched a part of a speech, and it was nothing to do with Iraq whatsoever, but this person was making a point that there are some countries out there that are really starting to be grounded in their economy and starting to really take off and grow. Vietnam was one of them, and Iraq was the other. So I was like, yeah, there you go. That's what I want to hear. So in order for the currency to increase in value, we talked about this. We really need them to have a strong economy. We really need them to increase their employment numbers. And of course, stay stable. So nobody kill solder, please. Thank you. So this is their chance to meet other people and do possible future business. Al-Kazemi's advisor announces a new plan to attract foreign investment in electricity. I'm kind of on a wall with this one because it almost looks like they are thinking about privatizing, which is never good because that's a globalist thing. But we'll see. Alawi advisor Prime Minister Al-Kazemi announced Sunday that the Iraq government has a new plan to attract investment to the electricity sector. They're actually thinking about going nuclear, or so they're saying. Which, of course, what we don't want them to do is create a nuclear bomb. But they're talking about it, and that's in another article. So the government has a new plan to attract investment to the electricity sector. In a statement to the news, Alawi said that the government has a new strategic plan to attract foreign investments in the electricity sector to construct stations of 5,000 megawatts. He indicated that the highest electricity production reached 20,000, but the sustainability of production is a challenge for the government due to the climate and gas supplies from Iran. With regard to exit of foreign oil companies from Iraq, Alawi stressed that it is too early for these companies to withdraw due to the importance of Iraq economy to them. So remember, they're trying to get away from relying too much on their oil revenues. And if companies are trying to get out of there because, the Green New Deal, it might be too soon. It might affect their economy. But it looks to me like Al-Kazemi has a plan to take care of that. So we'll keep that in mind because oil prices have been doing pretty good for them. I was expecting 80. It's pretty close to it. And I'm expecting 100 by the end of the year. All this will benefit, of course, Iraq. Happy New Year's to everybody, of course. The Iraqi-Egyptian agreement to activate the decisions of the tripartite Baghdad summit. So remember, they met. There's 3 of them, Egypt, Jordan, and Iraq. It looks like they're going to go ahead and start implementing some of the plans that they had between Egypt and Iraq, which is good. We're talking about trade. Trade is good for the economy. Keeps people working. All right. So it looks like the Egyptian Ministry of Trade has activated a decision to tripartite summit that was held in the capital. This came during a reception by the Ministry of Planning, and it gives you a list of everybody and their mother that was there. The media office of the Ministry of Planning said that in a statement received by the news, the meeting discussed the prospects for joint cooperation between the two friendly countries in the industrial, commercial, and investment fields, and ways to develop them. We already know that. They already talked about that. So what part have they launched? Now, On another website, I did see that there was something in agriculture and something in banking that they were doing. I don't know anything about else. So two sides agreed to develop a joint action plan with specific timing to translate the paths of cooperation and decisions taken by the leaders of the two countries into tangible, practical reality, especially with regards to developing industry, increase the volume of trade. We love that. Strengthen a relationship between Iraq and Egypt private sectors. We definitely love that. During the activation of the work of the Joint Action Council, which includes businessmen and investors for both sides. Oh, we love that. So this is what we want to see. This is exactly what that person was talking about when she said Vietnam and Iraq have really taken ground as far as getting their economies ready for takeoff. I love this. Not sure what's going on over in Saudi Arabia, but there sure is a lot of this and that. Seems to be like there's something going on, and all these little things might be pointing to something bigger. Of course, I'm not going to speculate on it, but I think it's very interesting. It almost looks like Saudi's under attack. The governor of the Saudi Arabia Central Bank explained the reason for the decline in foreign exchange reserves. Well, that's not good, because if the reserves go down, the currency loses value. One of the things you're going to need in order for your currency to stay up there in value is foreign assets. Not only that, it deals with the country's credit. The central bank's net foreign assets, a measure of the kingdom's ability to pay a currency to the dollar, fell $8 billion from a month ago. Well, what's a few billion here and there between billionaires? Anyways, according to the lowest levels in more than 10 years, and then returned to decline in May, according to the latest numbers. So something is going on, but what the explanation is, of course, this is because they had to deal with the Rona, and in doing so, they had to import more than they exported, and that dug into the reserves. Makes sense to me, but that's just one of many things that seem to be going on over there in Saudi Arabia. Of course, Iraq is telling everybody, Happy Independence Day. You guys are both friends of mine, but don't be starting to crap in my backyard. Iraq is saying to America and Iran, you guys go settle your differences somewhere else. Don't use our country as your fighting ground, as they should. Now remember, Al-Kazemi did jump into the butt of Americans as well as Iran one time when they were bickering and launching rockets at one another. He had had enough, like a true leader should. Iraq is very key territory for the Middle East. Everybody and their mother wants it. So yeah, of course, Al-Kazemi has definitely, look, we need to make sure they stop the bickering. We don't want it to destabilize over there. Anyways, he added that ISIS still poses a threat and is trying to gather its ranks, but the terrorists are no longer able to obtain geographical incubators, and we have dealt them in important strikes and killed many of their leaders, which is good. But remember, you're not fighting really an army, you're fighting an ideology, and that's what's important. So while they're trying to deal with ISIS, the last thing they need to be dealing with is the bickering between the United States and Iran is what it comes down to. This is great news, by the way. This is awesome. This port needs to be fixed. As soon as it's fixed up, modified, and open for business, this is big. Within 3 days, port announces the launch of bank credit for the Great Port of Fa. Yeah, this is what we want. This opens them up to the world. It's one of the biggest port, if not the biggest port in the Middle East. This is why Iraq is the gateway into the Middle East and why everybody wants a piece of it. So, the general company for the ports of Iraq announced on Sunday that the funds for the implementation of the Grand Fa Port project, what is known as the bank credit, will be released in 3 days. Good. So the Dawa company started its work 10 days after signing the contracts, but after the funds were released, the work will start at a faster and more serious pace so that what is implemented is clearly visible, especially since the executing company has concluded many contracts with various local and international companies to provide them with the equipment and machinery that is needed. So this is good. Get in there, get it fixed. I thought Saudi Arabia was supposed to help them. I don't know what happened. So here's what I was talking about. Look at Al-Kazemi reveals the governor's to the governors that Iraq's project to produce nuclear energy. Now again, they want to get away from they need help with their electric grid, but now they want to go nuclear. Very interesting, as long as they're doing it for the purpose of benefiting the people and not to make a damn bomb. All right, we won't get too much in this because I'll get to the good stuff. So the Kuwait Generation Fund is the third largest sovereign fund in the world, and Iraqs are asking, isn't it time to establish a national sovereign fund? Yeah, it should. Well, I don't know about that. This is when you have outside companies or trusted people that manage all the assets of the country to make sure that, they got profits coming in and they can use the profits in time of need. You see, the United States has that as well. As a matter of fact, we have several groups of people that manage the funds of our country, but you never hear how much we're generating from those funds and where the hell the money is going to, which is a big problem. But anyways, Iraq wants to start a fund. I think it's great for future generations and in times of need. So it should have been done a long time ago. If the Kuwait has the third largest, you can imagine that it won't take Iraq very long to pass them up once it's established. So let's get down. I like this right here. Al-Kazemi's advisor, the government counsels borrowing and deposits the deficit. No borrowing, no World Bank, no IMF, no China, please. You don't need them. The advisor to the Prime Minister for Economics Affairs, Saleh, announced that the country has passed the stage of deficit and the need for loans. Yes, that's great news, man. We're halfway through the year, and they're already past the stage of worrying about a deficit. As long as it doesn't fall between what they budgeted for as far as the oil is concerned. Remember, at $45 a barrel. So as long as it stays above 45, we're doing good. Saleh said in the press statement, the deficit, which was estimated at 29 trillion dinars, or about $2 billion, in the current year's budget, which was built on the assumption that the price of a barrel of oil amounts $45, has become from the past. I like how they word that. And the budget now does not need to borrow in the current fiscal year because oil revenues have become worth more than what was planned. This is awesome. Everything above that would just be a surplus. And you can use that for the following budget or for the following year or start investing it into private sectors. The cash revenues for the budget for the next 6 months, if they continue in this high form, what is allocated for borrowing will be only a theoretical case. Good, so they never actually, even though we heard articles that they were. With the exception of loans linked to the international financing funds for the purpose of implementing some projects, well, I take it back. Obviously, they did. From which withdrawals are being made and do not in any case exceed $3 billion. That's good, that's low. Saleh said any financial surplus archived or achieved until the end of the year will be carried forward in cash revenues for the fiscal year 2022. That is awesome. So Brent crude oil is at 75.51. Man, I barely missed my mark. I said 80. I was close. Remember they were saying they should hope to get to 52 by the end of the year. I was like, man, they'll be there 1 month, and they passed it. So anyways, that's it, you guys. It's looking really good, man. Kudos out to Iraq. Let's just make sure nothing happens to Saudi, and let's keep the country safe and stable. Keep going forward. We keep noticing that they're making small gains on the U.S. dollar, which is good. That's what we want. So that's it for now, you guys. I hope it continues because it's looking good for us. That's it for now. If you're not a subscriber, please do so because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. I'll catch you later. I'm out.